Gaming and BS, episode 207, coming to you Wednesday, September 5th, 2018. Welcome to Gaming and BS, tabletop RPG podcast. I'm Sean.
I'm Brett. You sound really light and bubbly there.
Light and bubbly.
Just different.
Light and bubbly, like
Like an effervescent champagne.
ham and bubbly.
What's that?
Ham and bubbly.
Ham and bubbly.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live skit with Michael Bublé and John Hamm.
Okay. You got me there. Don't know.
Everybody Google that. Ham and bubbly.
Ham and bubbly. All right.
It's quite hilarious.
Oh, good Lord. So, long weekend for us here in North America.
It is a long weekend, specifically in America.
Are you getting any cool gaming in this weekend or anything?
No.
No?
No, that would be foolish.
Yeah, why would you use these rare times off to get together with your friends? That'd be dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Hubs had a charity event last night.
Yeah, I think he was doing. I lost track of what was going on there. I saw a post from Hobbs and I missed it. I know I just got back from my weekend. I gamed Friday night, played the Temple of Elemental Evil, the 5e1 that my buddy Alpha was running.
Whoa.
And then Nick ran the Star Wars D6 game, which was fun.
That's fantastic.
Got to make a new character for my Star Wars game, though.
Uh-oh.
I didn't die. I walked him away. He retired.
He retired.
Yeah.
Got tired of hanging out on the ship.
No, he was doing really well. I mean, he was grooving on it, but the way everything is heading, that type of support character is no longer required at all.
It's not needed.
So I'm like, no, he's not needed. I'm like, this is gonna be really fucking boring for me. Like I could bring a book. If we keep going this way, no, I'll just bail.
So is it a matter of just not needing a pilot? Is that the deal? Or maybe you don't have a ship?
More or less, we don't need a pilot right now.
Oh, that's God, Brett. I kind of feel bad for you, man.
I do.
You feel kind of
We had a
unneeded.
really cool ship too. It was really awesome. It was really, really cool.
What was the name of the ship?
Oh shit. I tried to rename it, but he wouldn't let me change the transponder. Jalenka or something like that.
I see.
I'm like, I don't like that name, so I called it the Hard Luck. And he's like, you need to change the transponder. I don't care. That's what we call it. Which is, of course, how we got tracked, because one of the big-ass bounty on our heads tied to the ship we were on. So,
what are you going to make?
I don't know. I'm thinking of might have to make a Force user this time because of the way everything's heading. I might go in that direction. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll make some badass assassin just to beat the crap out of one of the other PCs.
Yeah.
Some kind of payback for them picking on my pilot. All right. Anything else? We good? Announcements?
Yeah, man. The usual.
All right. QCC is, by the time you hear this on Wednesday, I'll be on the road to QCC on the 5th because that's coming up.
In the Clark, in the Griswold family truckster.
Exactly.
What's that? What's that smell? What's that smell, Russ?
I have not.
You're going to have a bonding moment with, you've never seen Vacation?
Not in so long. In so long.
Dude, that's a classic, man.
I know. I should watch that again.
Oh, you should totally watch it right before you go.
So I can make all sorts of inside jokes that no one else will care about.
Bonding moment with AJ.
Yeah, that's what he needs. But we've got I got some final prep to do for some NPCs I need to make tomorrow because I got a day off. Make sure that's all done and good. And I only have to be at work in the office one day this week. That's Tuesday. I'm gonna show up, act like I give a shit, and then leave on vacation. So
sure you're not going to be underwater?
I better not be. Oh, fucking hell, it was raining again like crazy crap.
Rained yesterday and today, and I think it's going to rain tomorrow again. And
that's what they're saying.
It's pretty sporadic. But they've closed a couple of streets in Madison.
Trying to get from my house north to where I'm from, up in the Wausau area, central Wisconsin. Yeah, that took me an extra hour.
Yeah, because
I didn't realize all the alternate paths I usually take were shut down. So I'm like, fuck, I had to go an hour out of my way and then get there. Pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's the world's biggest labyrinth.
Yeah.
That's what I encountered.
Yeah, I
oh,
can see
go
that.
this way? Oh, it's a long
can't do
traffic.
that. Can't do
Oh,
that.
Yeah, street's closed.
The best part is the locals sitting there watching the flood. And they're looking at it going, wow, shit's flown by. And they see you pull up because they know you're not a local because you obviously drove down the road that's shut. And there's
Right.
no signs in some of these back roads. Like, got another one, Harry. There he goes. Look at that one. Yeah, dumb shit. From out of town, he is. And off you go. It's great. Did you get your Game Con badge you set
Of
there?
course, man. Yeah.
Well,
I
last
didn't-
year you were
last
behind,
year
so now I'm
last year I dicked it up. But
I'm
no,
pulling
I got it. Yeah.
pulling a Sean out on my damn badge yet. I gotta get that bought. Evercon.org, that's happening too. So we got stuff there, man. I don't have nothing new. This is random encounter. Do we have any random encounters? Anything?
No, we don't have any random encounters.
What the hell?
Nothing recent. Well, actually, no, that's not true. We could read the ones off of Google Plus.
You got any? You want some? You want to pull it out?
I completely spaced it. Well, if you pull up Google Plus in the last episode, that's where like Jared Rasher had some good comment on the last episode.
Oh, very cool. I'll let you read that since you have it up.
All right, just give me a brief second, which I could probably edit this in timing. And I meant to put it in there. I totally spaced it.
Oh, I've got it. Here we go. Excuse me. So Jared Rasher wrote in on last episode where we're talking about high magic, low magic, middle magic, breadth and depth and ubiquity of magic, and of course using Eberron as a touch point for all this. We had Wayne Chang and Christian Serrano from Manifest Zone on. So Jared Rasher wrote in and said, the discussion of high magic versus wide magic reminded me of another theme that tends to get confused with high and low magic, high or low fantasy. I'd argue you see most of the same number of supernatural things in Fafhrd and the Mauser stories as you do in Middle-earth. The difference is one of scope. Fafhrd and the Mauser never really rise above the local environment being at stake, Lankamar, Rim Isle, while The Lord of the Rings is about multiple nations hanging in the balance. It's less about the amount of magic or the supernatural, more about the gritty versus epic. Westeros, or at least much of A Song of Fire and Ice, excuse me, has a lot less magic than Middle-earth, but even though it may feel gritty because of the number of key players that can die, the stakes are for entire nations and continents. It's low magic, but it's epic fantasy. Like Lord of the Rings, we're seeing the fate of nations being decided. Something that never clicked with me with WotC's original marketing of Eberron that has really sunk in more recently is the assumed timeline being emulated. I read all the comments about Indiana Jones style adventuring and pulp, but it didn't really sink in until more recently that if you assign a similar time for history, Eberron varies a lot from other D&D settings. I'd say that Greyhawk and Dragonlance are more medieval and the Forgotten Realms is more early Renaissance, especially around the bigger influential cities like Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate. Eberron is much more like a fantasy version of the 1930s, except the things you would expect in the time frame are all emulated with D&D-isms instead of technology. I think I had a hard time parsing that, because usually when you see 1930s but with magic, it's additive. In other words, it's like the 1930s we knew, but also with magic, monsters, and fairies. Eberron is essentially like the 1930s if you said you must make trains and streetlights and zephyrs and all using D&D magic assumptions. Feeds into both the pulp adventure of exploring places like Zendrick and the pulp noir of urban mysteries like Sharn. It's not a perfect analogy, but neither is the medieval mindset of Dragonlance or Greyhawk or the earlier Renaissance of Forgotten Realms. It's a baseline rather than a guiding principle, and I'm totally sure as someone that hasn't had too much time to delve into the setting that people can tell me that I'm way off base. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, Christian actually chimed in on that just to clear that up, mentioning that the tech level is actually 1880 is what he would refer to it as. Telegraph, not telephone, but the culture is more Renaissance. So, one of the other ones that one of the other individuals that commented was Michael Phillips, where he goes to say, I'd go with the 5e version of One Ring Adventures over the original system. So he just points that out because we touched on the One Ring, Brett, at one point.
Yeah.
Somebody said, hey, you should get the One Ring. And then he goes on, I disagree with Baker's assessment of gunpowder. So in the last episode, Christian mentioned it's not, why get guns? Why put in, guns in Eberron when you can just use magic wands?
Yes.
You have a very extensive educated class, incredibly active economy, since the lightning rails cost about the same amount as the interstate highway system per mile, except the cotton is bigger than the U.S. And while you can train people in magic, it still takes a lot of training, whereas a non-magical solution to the same problem could be outfitted to regular soldiers and at our similar cost as low-level magic items. In an alchemy positive world, the only real excuse for no gunpowder after a 100-year war with an active economy that is late Renaissance or older, I don't want gunpowder. So 5e doesn't need the ongoing treadmill of magic items, but lacking magic items altogether is a bigger penalty in the mid-levels than it is in 3rd edition. Why you don't need them for the 2-hit math, damage immunity is still very much a thing, even with low-level creatures, and damage reduction is actually a bigger deal than it was in 3rd edition because it scales directly with how tough the creature is. Instead of subtracting a set number from the damage, it cuts the damage in half, which is great in the first 3 or 4 levels, but it's a much bigger impact than the DR10 and a CR10 creature might have had in 3rd edition.
That's interesting.
Oof. Yeah. I would not allow firearms in my fantasy. In my fantasy in general. Like even if I played Pathfinder, I'd be like, nope.
Yeah, I use firearms in Avalon. Rarely, but they're there.
Yeah.
They're fun. They make for a neat little story points and so on. But the setting is specifically designed to allow that type of thing.
Yeah, I haven't played in Avalon.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have guns, I would probably look at it quite a bit differently.
Yeah.
Right. It would just be a different feel for me.
No, absolutely. And I know I have said that to some people, like, oh, I don't like that. I'm like, but that's totally fine. You could read it and go, I like everything but that. And you could take that out, and it really wouldn't hurt anything. Right. But it's just a piece of the flavor. One of the things I think is interesting, though, to go to what Mr. Phillips is talking about, it always reminds me, because I'll look at like 5e and say, wow, I really like these pieces, this pieces, and this seems simpler to me. And somebody else will look at it and say, actually, I don't think that is simpler. And they've got like the math to prove it, or they've got a totally different perspective on things, which I think is one of the pieces that's really so interesting about any, not edition wars, but just edition discussions or version discussions, especially within something as long-reaching as Dungeons and Dragons. When you say, is this version better or how is it different, I think is the key. And what's interesting to me is sometimes I personally, when I look at how different the thing is similar to what we were talking about. I think we talked about this in the show where I said I was probably going to run Pathfinder at some point. You're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, my players love it, right? Yeah. The episode we were talking about the character change, whatever, and that crunch is all player side because I, as a game master, the extra crunch doesn't impact how I prepare, how I run the game, or like it doesn't do anything to me. All the doing it to somebody is on the player side. Now, somebody out there looks at that and a positive says, but the way I game master, it doesn't work like that. I view it this perspective. And that, I think that's absolutely legitimate. It's just, there's something about that I think is really cool. Because Michael, I think, had a really nice, basically, if more people were to not attack, were to say, hey, I disagree with Mr. Baker, and here's why, the way Michael did, I think this hobby would be a lot easier to get along in sometimes versus you're wrong and you're dumb for being wrong type of thing. So thank you, Mr. Phillips. I appreciate the well thought out and articulated discussion. That's very nice. I think if you were to argue, if there's two arguments that would really start to, you could probably have podcasts dedicated to them forever. One is alignment, and two is economics in D&D. Yeah.
I think those two, you could probably sit there and just debate that crap till the dogs come home.
Exactly.
None of that shit makes sense.
So you killed a dragon, and you literally have 200,000 gold pieces worth of coins and gems. All right, what's a loaf of bread cost now in town? Oh, good time.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the main topic. All right, Brettster.
All right, man. So last episode on 206, George Sedgwick had written into us and talked about the precise moment of character death I'll pull this out. So you want to talk about PC death. Here's what he's saying. The precise moment of PC death. I don't mean PC death in general. You've spoken about that before, as have many others. Instead, I mean the actual moment in the game when the druid drops below 0 hit points and fails whatever save your life roll is possible. What happens at your table at that moment? Do you let the player narrate his or her last gasp? Do you take the character sheet away and rip it up with gusto? Or do you let the player's sheet just disappear into that little dog-eared trapper keeper that they stash all the characters in? So I wanted to talk about this because I know there are some games like Dungeon World has the Black Gates thing, right? In Dungeon World, if you die, there's like, hey, you're dying, and here's a method and a mechanic around it. So I know people who are Dungeon World fans are saying, aha, that's what happens at the moment of character death and so on. Sean, have you given any thought to this insofar as when your character dies, do you naturally, as you've grown up through the hobby, do you like, oh yeah, I narrate how I die, or I cast my last curse at them, or I just die with a horrible look on my face, or shit my pants and fall over? Do you think about this stuff at all? Or like, crap, I'm dead. Give me my 46, gotta make a new guy.
Yes, the latter.
The latter?
Yeah. It's pretty much this guy's bitten the dust. Time to roll up another one. What level?
I see.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, though? I mean, if it's like a huge, epic, big thing, and you're going to fight Tiamat at the end, and you're like, well, I died. Let's make a new tune. Off we go.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a big, curse you into the last generation of yours, and thus and such. That's not you, huh?
No. I mean, we've had some big battles against some big baddies, and it's yeah.
UPCs are just like tissue paper to you.
It's done.
Done.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of, the games that I'm in with the players that I play with aren't huge role players. They're just not. Like, not to the level where it would be that. I think that's the reason why it's not that huge a deal. So it's just kind of, that fucking sucks.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
man, I was going to take a new feat next level.
Yeah, it would be like, I guess I'm freaking dead.
Damn it.
I think there's a lot of people that get really sour when their character dies.
Oh, I've told this story before when Connor died, and the first time his character died in one of my campaigns, he pitched a fit. When AJ's favorite first dwarf cleric died, he cried.
Wow.
Tears rolling down his cheeks. I mean, he was like 9, but he's still like, what do you mean he's dead? You killed me. I'm like, no. That's not how this works, son. So I punched him a little bit. No, I'm kidding. That didn't happen.
That's right.
Toughen him up. Now, I think what's interesting is that when I play with kids, the moment of PC death is huge. I died. Yeah. I mean, the sword comes in. It just cuts right through your shield, blasts through the chainmail, and it takes you down. Even AJ's buddy, Danny, be like, oh, well, okay, when I die, can I, like, take a last stab at him just to try? Like, in my dying breath, can I do that? Almost every kid I've played with who's, like, into the game wants to do something heroic as a last act.
And you tell him, no, you can't
I'm sorry,
do that.
It's not
You're
the rules.
You're
You're not
dead.
allowed to do that. You're dead.
You're freaking dead. Like,
and
you
I
can't.
rip his character sheet up, I spit on it,
Well, that's going a little bit
and I
far.
throw it on my floor and just kick it a little bit. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. There you go.
So, normally, whenever that happens, I am honestly so moved that any kid is that into it. I'm like, go for it.
Right.
Give it a shot. And I'll give the kid a bone. I'll let it happen almost, because I want the kid to have a good time doing it. And it's a lot of fun. But I it doesn't happen, like I said, it doesn't happen all the time. So I don't want to make it seem like every kid I've played with does this. But I've noticed that a lot of the younger gamers I'm with, if it's a big fight and they're dying, they want one last thing to do. They want to make it a big last thing, As I die, I want to take the arm he cut off and beat him with it or something. They want to do something big. I remember playing.
I do too, but I do too, but it never gets to that point.
It never gets to that point.
No, it's kind of like shit. wind is sucked out of the sails too quickly.
You're just too crushed by life in general. Like, whatever. Just one more disappointment in a long litany of professional and personal disappointments.
Chalk it up to just another happy ending to a great freaking day. I come here to enjoy myself, and then my character gets killed. That's awesome.
And you motherfuckers killed me. Thanks, DM.
Yeah.
Punch.
Yeah. I said I was 120 feet away. I thought they could only lob, something up to 100 feet.
Oops.
Sucks.
Now, when I played Amber Diceless, it's been a while since I've read it, but you can curse. Like your last thing, you can pass a curse, like a blood curse, onto your foe, which is a horrible thing to do.
I thought you could swear.
Oh, you can do that too. You can motherfucker, and then you die.
Yeah.
But you could curse them. Corwin in the Amber series does that, which leads to a huge chunk of the first Amber novel series of bad things happening. But you can, in that game, there's a piece of it that says you can curse people and things and stuff, and it has a legitimate impact. One of the biggest things I've also had players do in that last gasp, almost every time it's been, they want to narrate it and they want to do something. They don't want to like just die and like, oh, I gasp, I flop, I arterial blood spray, I do this and my gun goes flying across a room or whatever. They want to do something, like one last action is what I've always encountered. Personally, when my characters die, I do tend to take it much like you do, Sean. We're like, oh, well, he's dead. That sucks. And then I just start thinking of the next character because I don't get as caught up into the. I like to roleplay my characters to a point, but I don't get as caught up into what do I do at that moment. But I think it's really cool when the players that I've played with do that. Like if they're playing a wizard or somebody who has some kind of power thing, right? Whether it's I want to, when I fall and I die, can I snap my staff of the mad guy as I fall? Can I do that? Yes, kaboom! I want to do that. Oh, as I keel over, I want to land on my potion of fire breath and see what that does, or something. Or I hit the self-destruct button on my power armor or the spaceship or whatever it is you're doing. You want to go out with a big goddamn bang. Because it's not very, at least in some of those games, it feels like it's more fun to go out big than to just with a little soft whimper and you flop over dead. Although that can be incredibly dramatic too. The huge tough ass paladin, shock, arrow through the eye, collapses to knees, falls over, not a word. That's shocking as fucking hell. Because sometimes the player's like, damn it. And it could be like Sean going, damn it, gotta make a new character. When the rest of the table's like, holy shit, what the hell just happened?
I've had one of those happen too.
Did you?
Yeah, where the rest of the players are like, holy shit, man. Yep, well, and them's the breaks.
Now, do you notice that, depending on what, kind of that moment of death, how you die, do you notice, does it change the way the other players around you? If you're GMing, do you watch the other players change their approach to everything?
Well, I think there's a moment where the reality of the situation, I think, hits them in the face.
Okay.
Like because I just killed a recent character, my buddy Joe.
Joe.
Yeah, his gnome took one for the team.
Poor little bastard.
Oh. Everybody kind of looked around. I'm like, well, at least y'all have 2 characters each, right?
But did they change the way they played? Like suddenly they become way more conservative, like for the next hour?
Well, they definitely were like, holy shit, this is like a serious trapped like little temple that we're in. So they wanted to ensure and evaluate the situation so that they could best approach it, because if they didn't, another one was going to take a hit. So I don't know if they were overly, like if they changed to be more cautious because of that. Probably a little bit, because they were still being cautious. He just happened to step on the wrong stone.
You and I have talked about this before, like when the bad guy or whatever is outright just one hit kills an NPC party member. All right, says the ancient guide. Oh, down the street here. Holy crap, he killed Timmy, What's that about? Oh my God, this is then they become nervous, right? Death is like looking you in the face at that point. Do you ever have players that want to do the whole narrating last gasp as I fall? I cast my lightsaber and cut the door open and space this fucker. Do you have people do that?
I think I have in the past. I can't remember.
It's so boring. You don't even remember that crap.
I can't. It's such a distant memory. Nobody dies. That's the problem. There isn't enough character death. Yeah.
So you amp that up, man.
I know. That's why. But I'm running now, so it's a whole new era.
Well, people are fucking dying, no matter whether the rules call for it or not. God damn it!
Tomb of Annihilation. Go ahead. Do your point buy. Make 2 characters each, because I don't want any complaining when one of them dies.
Grind. Okay.
I mean, so I think in the past I've had people say, "Hey, well, as that happens, can I do this?"
Do you allow that when they ask you for that?
Sure. Well, I mean, as long as it's within reason.
Okay.
I mean, if they're tossing something, or they're going to, one last breath, try to hit the thing kind of as a simultaneous attack, because I know that if they do hit, it could probably be the end of the monster.
Yeah. As I get shot, I flip my Uzi over to my companion whose weapon just jammed. Right. I want to do something where my gun goes to you, Sean, so your character can keep fighting.
Well, see, I wouldn't even make it that dramatic. I would probably say, like, okay, as you're hitting the floor, dying, out of breath, your heart stop beating, you start to have an out-of-body experience, and the end is obviously there. Your weapon slides across the floor.
Okay, so
they're dead, man. They don't get all these actions and crap. I don't know, maybe.
So do you as the game master though? Do you like to narrate that moment of PC death when it's like, bam, you hit, oh fuck, you're dead. All right, so this is what happens. Do you do that?
Typically, I would probably narrate that, like, okay, because it's more meta, right? It's like, okay, let me see, 3d8, okay, plus 4. All right, 35 points of damage. Roll reflex. All right. You didn't save? Okay, you take 35 points.
And then the player goes, oh, shit, I'm dead.
Then they go, oh, shit, I'm dead. I go, okay, so everybody, as you see what happens, Rondaloo, or whatever his character's name was. Yeah. I don't try to keep names in my head.
Yeah, it's like FNGs.
Right. It's just why put the effort.
It's a red shirt, man. Why learn their names?
Right. No, wait till like 3rd or 4th level when they've got a little bit, right? That's like people that start at my work. I don't remember their names until they've been there for about 6 months.
Yeah. Once you bought me a couple lunches, kid, I'll know who you are.
Yeah. Well, you earn a few deals and you're not out the door in 6 months.
There you go.
We can talk.
I get that. I guess one of the pieces that you just said is I think the kids I've played with, because we'll play a big, oh my God, crazy one-shot type of game when I run for AJ's friends or whatever, or even at a gaming convention with younger people. They want to make it as cool as possible for that one session. But I have noted that a lot of people, once they become attached to the character, some people attach to a character very, very quickly. That first level character, they love her just as much as they'll love her when she's 15th level or 20th level or 100,000 points in or whatever. And a number of other gamers, a lot of the old grognard men and women and such will, I played with some men and women like, oh, well, at least she was only 2nd level because I didn't put a lot of time into her yet, type of thing. And so I think some of I have watched the player's desire to have more control over the death moment increase greatly as their love and connection to that character has increased over time. When you finally get that, 8th level, 9th level, 10th, 15th level paladin, to the goddess of justice, and you're like, I don't just want to keel over and die. I really want something, because you've gone, lived, and done. You want to have a bigger, more dramatic death scene. So I've had more players at that point want to do something special narrative-wise, and I usually allow it because I don't see why not. Because when you say it's a situation, right? So if you're playing a classic D&D style game and you're buried under tons and tons, literally tons and tons of rubble, there's not a whole lot of dramatic you can do other than say eep. I mean, crush. You can die at the sound of your armor bending and twisting like aluminum foil, but other than that, there's not a whole hell of a lot of dramatic you can do there. So I definitely think that as the situation allows or whatever does make sense. Have
I've
go.
given the game master free reign. Like I told him, I was playing a druid, or was it a ranger? Can't remember. Maybe a ranger. Treelorn Greenhaven. Full of them over here, Brett.
That's awesome.
I said, man, I'm kill my guy. The game master was reluctant.
You just said kill your guy because you're sick of playing with these assholes, or what?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
No, not really. I mean, I was sick of playing that guy, and I think I was moving on. And so, I said, hey, you let me know how it goes down. I'm good. So I don't remember the actual ending. But yeah, I
have White Wolf.
I think there's one of the guys, Johnny, John from Fear the Boot.
Okay.
I forgot John's last name. But he was always talking about how he never got attached to his characters and didn't have any problem taking that approach. Like he would, over time, just sacrifice his character.
Just treat them like pawns in a game. Okay.
Well, I mean, it wasn't every session, but I mean, 3 or 4 sessions go by and he was okay with his character dying as part of the story.
Yeah, I could see that. I was going to say White Wolf had a deal, I think it was in the Werewolf game system, where you basically knew your moment of death. It was kind of like, you'll know it when you see it. When it happens, you know you're going to die. And the idea was, it was this opportunity. I'm going to die now, so I'm going to fucking go crazy and do what I can do. And that's a thing John Wick has said ages back, is it was one of his play dirty things to players, is tell the game master how you want to die. And tell them,
that's the way I should have started session 0.
Make it happen whenever you want to. That's not a bad idea, honestly, to add in session 0. If your character were to die, how do you think it would be cool to die? And then catch it up periodically. If you died, how would you like to die tonight? Type of thing. It's a weird piece, but when you give that opportunity and say, look, Sean, it's upon you. The great bear has come out of the wilderness, the silvery claws. You're like, hey, this is the thing. Saw it in my dream. See you guys. Blah! You just fucking sink your teeth into that moment and don't let go and just die with a huge grin on your face. There's something cool about that.
Brett, roll a D10.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you roll? 7?
8.
8. Okay. Well, when you hit 8th level, how does your character die? You know what that works for? You know what that works for? Those characters that embrace a certain destiny.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you have somebody whose goal is to, I will accomplish a thing, and especially if it's questy based, right? It's all, I'm on a grand thing, destiny, as you say. Yeah, I definitely would.
Stern Brightblade, man, Stern Brightblade.
Yeah,
that sorry bastard.
I'm gonna stand here and have this chick stick a spear through me.
Crunch.
Spoiler.
Oops, crunch. Dead. Yeah.
Oh, used to be my friend too. It was a friend of mine that did it. That made it great.
Yeah. Roll a D10.
Yeah.
Give me a roll.
6. Oh, at 6th level. I rolled a 1. So at first level, son of a bitch.
Well, you don't even have to tell them. Just say, okay, you got a 6. Let me write that down.
Okay.
All right. So when your character dies,
yeah, how do you want him to go out?
How would you like him to go out?
Blaze of glory, calm and quiet, sobbing.
What level are you? Oh, I just made 6th level. Got it.
Good to know.
Good to know. Yeah, this could be like 2 months down the road, right? 3 months, 6 months.
Bring it back up. So
remember that die roll you had?
Have you ever? We said that when I first read George's comment last episode, I mentioned this. I had done this in the past, and we used to do this in my high school D&D group. The character sheet would get destroyed. The character's dead. Crumple, crumple, rip, throw it away.
Have you ever done that? You ever burn one in front of somebody?
No, I've never burned them. But that was the thing.
We're playing by candlelight. How convenient.
Have you ever ripped up a character sheet though of a player as a game master? Let's look at it this way. As a game master, said, "Give me that. You're dead."
I don't know if I ever remember doing that to any player or character. I think
I would never do it now because it was incredibly insulting and mean. It is like this ultimate dick move. See this thing you love? And you're looking at them and their eyes, their rage. It's just dumb. That's like poking a badger with a spoon. Why would you do that?
I think I'm going to start playing Adventurers League. I'm going to run that. And then when I kill a character, that's what I'm going to do. And see how long I can last running games at Adventurers League.
He'll be the guy sitting at Misty. How come no one wants to play with me?
I'll be at Misty Mountain or I'll show up and a couple later or I'll just come to the table and go, "Hey, is anybody listening to Gaming and BS podcast?"
No, what's that?
Okay.
Good.
Okay. No, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Good. I hate those guys.
And don't start. Yeah. You don't have to start either.
No, I wouldn't either. And if you do, don't listen to episode 207. I'm just saying that right now. 207's off limits. Start at 1, work your way forward. By the time you get to 207, you'll be dead and I'll be ripping your character sheet.
Good times.
Do you, so this odd thing, do you keep character sheets for dead characters? Have you ever kept them?
You know, I have character sheets. I don't know if any of the ones that I've kept are dead. I think they're all alive, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I keep the dead ones. Or if I write on them, I put the big old stamp deceased on the top. But I don't, hey, Brett.
You don't live in the past?
My characters really don't die.
Oh,
I don't, sometimes I just don't run into that.
Oh. Okay.
Majority of times. I don't know.
I had a spate of horrible luck in a buddy of mine's first edition game. It was a big group of us playing. It was very high level, and I kept getting slaughtered by accident, bad luck, bad die rolls, and party members. Party member. Yeah, that was good. They would call lightning or fire or something, and I would always be slightly within the blast radius. I love 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I looked at Andy and said, "Andy, you killed me." He goes, sorry about that. You fucker. I stopped naming the characters. I started calling them old number 6, old number 7, old number 8. Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. It became just a joke. I couldn't roll. I couldn't make a saving throw. That campaign was just, I rolled dice like a Kelly. That's what happened. I just could not. I had your dice skills at that point. It was terrible.
I get it.
Maybe that's why you don't get attached to your characters, because you can't roll dice. Nor can I, honest. Truth be told, I'm not that good at die roll either.
Well, having said that, the party usually carries me. I'm usually rendered ineffective pretty quickly. Oh, D20 system. Sweet. Let's roll these suckers. I think the other day, I am not bullshitting. Well, Savage Worlds we played recently. Shit, I think I got dealt. I mean, I did have some exploding dice, so I didn't have any problems there. But initiative, I don't think I hit anything above a 5 for initiative. And so for people that haven't played Savage Worlds, you play with a deck of cards for initiatives. So you're talking wild cards and aces all the way down to deuces. And this guy didn't even get above a 5 in like 6 rounds.
So everybody's going before. Thank God everybody else before he was hyper competent.
Torture.
So do you think, to kind of go back to this, if you were to look at is that something you think you should start doing, or is that like a good practice, do you think? Ripping
up characters?
Not ripping up character sheets. Go back further. That's a terrible practice, probably. But the whole kind of let the player narrate the last gasp, allow them to do one last heroic thing. And maybe in a noir game, if you were playing a hardcore, hard-boiled, even a Cthulhuoid game, no, you're dead. There's no last gasp of anything. The Shoggoth eats your head. You're just done. Where in a Cthulhu game, when you die ignominiously, you just cause more sanity loss to everyone around you happen to see it. There's nothing heroic you get to do there. Anyway, do you think there should be, the deaths should be? Is that a thing we potentially should lean into a little bit more? That moment of death making it kind of cool?
Yeah, I do. I think it would suit the moment depending on what that looked like. So one of the things that would, okay, so it's combat. All right. Have them go out with a bang. That's fine. But it would be classic if they were poisoned or something, right? They slowly died and the person that administered the poison sitting there looking over them.
Yeah.
Have them be able to say something
final cutting remark or something.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when I have had that happen, I have found the players that want to do that embrace the death of their character a lot more. They get less sulky about it.
Yeah.
less emotion, less actual player emotion. Even AJ, when he was dying, he's crying. I'm like, oh yeah, back when he was 9, calms down. I said, look, here's the things that, do you want to, how do you die? What do you do? And he gave him a little chance to talk through something. So he felt he had some control over that, even to the very end. And it doesn't have to be much, right? I could see some hardcore old schoolers are like, no, you're fucking dead. You're dead. Your character, just let it go, man. You're dead. But there can be something cool like, all right, so, you get the arrow shot. How do you die? I take it right through my left eye. I turn, and it looks like I'm winking as my character falls to the ground. Even if you want to make a comedic way that you die or something interesting, giving the player an opportunity to, it might not, and this might not be for everybody. It seems like it would be cool if that became kind of a stable thing. Like, hey, you're dead. Do you have any special way you die or any last thing you want to do? And some player may be like, no, man, I'm dead. Fuck it, whatever. Give me another character sheet. And another player might just totally sink their teeth into it and hold on for as long as you let them. I think it might be worth throwing out. I think it's kind of a neat idea to do it more often. And as players say, hey, as I die, can I fall forward onto something? Can I land whatever? I have had it in dungeon environments where the character's like, so I die, can I fall down and kind of block the passage with my body so the kobolds can't get over to my friends for another round? And the other guys, oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. Let Brett fall forward because we could really use his body as a wall. It's a bizarre quasi how quickly people turn. But or even, in your space games or whatever, you'll be the one piloting it. You'll shut off all the air everywhere except the one room where the players or the rest of the group is in, but you'll be willing to sacrifice yourself, so on and so forth. I think it would be I think it's worth it if the player wants to do it, unless it's crazy, and every game group knows what crazy feels like because it's kind of, when you see it in that setting. But I think it's kind of worth it. I think it's one of those pieces that when George brought it up, I'm like, man, do I even think about this? And then as we start talking about it, and I was thinking about it ahead of the show, I'm like, yeah, actually, it doesn't really get planned or thought about much ahead of time. But at the moment, I tend to feel like I should give the players or the game master something to chew on with my death or the other player's death. Let them have the opportunity to say, hey, I want to do something with it or not. Other than Sean, because Sean just murders people's characters terribly.
No.
Like that poor gnome.
Yeah, it was one in, I don't know how long it's been since one took a bullet.
So when, I guess the last piece here is I mentioned at the top is like, Amber has a big curse. You could do a curse thing. And Dungeon World has, the black gates when you die and so on. Have you ever done that when you're dead? Narrate kind of how the character dies, or insofar an afterlife perspective. And no. I the only reason I bring this up is because when I read about it in Dungeon World, I was thinking about it here, is that at that second, I have asked the player sometimes, not even in a narrative perspective, is that would you be willing in a classic D&D where Raise Dead and so on is very available, would your character want to come back? And they get to answer me once, and they say, no, I'm dead. I would never come back. You can't res me. I don't want to be resed. Done. That's like their final wish, Do they want to be resurrected, reincarnated, brought back as a tree, or whatever? They could say no. And that was their wish. And some players would say, yeah, if you get a chance to, if you could resurrect me, that'd be great. Then I don't have to make a new character. And some people are like, nope. Billy Bob, the pilot, has run his course. Doesn't need to be brought back. Don't stick him in a back to tank. He's fine. He's dead. Moving on. So sometimes even that component of it is having that player tell the other PCs, kind of like you do, in a way, oh, I'm dead. I'll make a new character. Telling the rest of the group, like, it's okay. I'm dead, and don't go through crazy-ass heroic efforts trying to save my character. As the bullets are flying, don't do that.
because I'm dead. Save yourselves, kids. It's all right.
Pretty
So
much.
nothing else. I've asked that question, not so much as from a spiritual perspective, but simply mechanically speaking, almost to say, would you, if it's possible for someone to save you or go crazy heroic or bring you back to life some way, do you want that? And then I get that answer, and that's like their only chance. They can't renege on that question, right? Say, what do you want to do? No, don't bring me back. Then they're done. Have you ever done that?
I have. Yeah, I've died and said, don't
Waste your time, kids.
Yeah, don't make it a big deal and make it a quest and get me resurrected or any of that. I'll just re-roll another person, another tune.
Did you remember the old first edition character sheets on the bottom? You had your character Will.
Yeah, hereby.
I, Stabby McStabberton, do hereby leave all my gold and thieves picks too. And we always in high school, my next character. What's what people would put in there? And then somehow that was supposed to be magically when you died, all that stuff just appeared on your next character, which was the weirdest thing in the world. But whatever. We were in high school. What the hell did we know?
We used to talk about like, hey, can I get that? Or can I get this? And then I would write it down. I'm like, okay, this guy gets
all right, so if
ring.
I die, my +3 flame tongue goes to, Ragnar, the Dwarven Warrior.
Right.
Yeah. My cloak of Elvenkind goes to the halfling. Fine, he gets the cloak of Elvenkind.
Right. Yeah, we'd do that every once in a while.
Have you ever had people when they're dead do they die, whatever, and the other players come up and go, can I see your character sheet? What do you have on you?
Yeah.
Which is a classic murder hobo thing. I strip his corpse.
Yep.
And I've had players get irately pissed off about that. Like,
I used to
pack
irk
of
the shit out of
bastards.
me. Yeah, it would
You
irk
pack
the
of
shit out of me.
bastards. You just see me as just another sack of experience points. Really?
Freaking dicks ticking my damn boots.
You're dead, man. You don't need that.
Yeah. Can I come back as a ghost and haunt these assholes? Give me a roll.
Give me a roll. Let's see if you can pull it off.
If you roll
A 19 or 20.
99 or higher on a percentile, I'll let you come back.
Boom, 100. Oh, shit, says
right.
Game Master. All right. So I think we beat this one to death. Hey-oh. So if you're out there as players or as game masters, what's your preference when it comes to this stuff? At the moment of character death, as a player, do you prefer to have some narrative piece, power, something around it? Do you like to make it a big deal, or does it depend? And as a game master, what kind of experiences have you had with allowing this type of thing to happen? So I think it's pretty cool. And a positive, Dungeon World isn't the only game out there that has a mechanic around what happens after you die, and so forth. So if somebody else knows a really good game system that Sean and I just failed to mention here that has a really neat little mechanical piece, let us know, because that's always, if nothing else, I may not want or need the rest of the game. I might just steal that piece and slam it into my game as it exists. So, we good, Sean?
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's move it on.
Die roll. Die roll. Brett.
I've got one. I've seen this a couple times. I want to call it out. So apparently, a hot, dry summer has revealed some hidden archaeological sites in England. I saw another one, but I could not find the link to it. I think the same thing was happening in parts of Germany as well. But they had found like unknown henges and historical. They're looking and kind of flying over crops and grasslands, and they're finding like a lost henge, circles, mounds, all sorts of things that are just buried underneath, and you can see it from way up high. It's really kind of cool the way it's being revealed geographically because of the drought. So kind of upside to a drought, I guess, if you will. Hey, look, this really cool archaeological stuff. And if this drought keeps on, we'll be part of the exhibit. But anyway, I thought that was kind of neat. A link in the show notes. The reason I think it's neat from a gaming perspective is you take something like that. It's a natural event. Sean and I have talked about natural events, disasters, and such to make the gaming kind of cool. I see this as, hey, this planet has endured a crazy drought or a problem, or they've got water shortages, and you arrive there and then you start to find these things, or in classic D&D terms, oh my God, there's the lost tomb of King thus and such, or Queen so and so is here now, or we think this might be it. And Next thing you know, you're digging in and you got chuds. So anyway, there you go. Sean, over to you.
Sviland? 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 Campaign setting free to download demo. So if you're interested in taking a look at a different campaign setting, interesting. I think it's based off of more Scandinavian in nature. Whole crew's working on that thing. Pretty cool, dedicated website. Link in the show notes.
I think that from this one here, they're going to go to a Kickstarter on September 4th.
Okay. 2018, I imagine.
Yeah. Yep. It's a campaign setting for 5e inspired by Scandinavian myths. Kind of cool.
Looks kind of cool. Second one, Burn Bite playtest on Roll20 begins. So this has got a plethora of individuals that have been involved with this. It's a game that Roll20 had commissioned like 4 or 5 people to work on, specifically to Roll20. So it's kind of Netflix, but their game, right? It's their public, their kind of thing versus licensing something else.
Specifically geared for their platform, their tool set, I'm assuming.
Right.
Cool. Okay. Neat.
Yeah. So Jim McClure has been involved. I think Darcy Ross might have been involved. A few others that I will fail to remember everybody, but check that out. Third one, D20 Data Science by Cyberscribe. Link to the GitHub, which basically Sly Flourish on Twitter posted it. And essentially what it's come down to is the D&D 5e combat effectiveness.
Data science investigations into the mechanics of the world's greatest role-playing game.
Yeah. So the conclusions...
Oh, sorry, what?
The conclusions in a nutshell are initiative doesn't matter very much.
Dun, dun, dun.
AC and attack scores don't matter very much. And number of attacks, damage, and hit points matter a lot. So if you're a numbers nerd and statistics and analysis is...
You want to min-max the fuck out of that fighter? Read this.
Yeah, your thing. This is something to check into.
Interesting.
And lastly, Encoded Designs and Phil Vecchione. Props to Phil. He's going to be launching Hydro Hackers RPG on September 4th, 2018.
Very cool.
Drive-through. Yeah, I was surprised. I thought for sure they were going to kickstart it, but apparently...
Phil's had a pretty good following with this. I had a chance... 2 Origins, not this last Origins, but the one before when I went down with Wayne Humfleet and Kev in Austin. I was down there. I got to play in a Hydra Hackers kind of play test with Phil and the crew there, and it was a lot of fun. So Phil's a good dude. One, as a person, I like the guy, and obviously he's part of Misdirected Marketing Encoded and all that good stuff. But I think he's got good chops as a game designer too. So I believe there may actually be some hard copies at Queen City Conquest. I may have to grab one. So. I'm going to see if there will be any left by the time I get there. I believe it's a Powered by the Apocalypse game. So
it is.
Yeah.
So
it is.
Brett will be defying danger all day long.
I'll be defying danger all day, nonstop. Can't stop me. Defying the danger.
So if you want more information on Hydro Hackers, they've got a pretty good page up at Encoded Designs that'll give you the skinny. So congratulations, Phil. I'm sure that was long coming. Not really,
yeah. Hell, shit. Dude's been working on that for 3 years, I think.
Has it been that long? Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Chris and I were talking about just like the Avalon thing, which is still the Kickstarter coming later this year. I think it's slated for December. But, it takes time. The development process and banging things out and going through editing and all these different pieces, it takes time. And 2 to 3 years is not unheard of from what I can see the further I dig into it. So, pretty cool.
No. All right. Wow. What are we talking about next week, Brett?
I'm not sure, man. I've had a couple different ideas in my head. I'm gonna bounce a couple of them by you and see if you see what you think this week. But we'll see what happens. I might be in a rough spot, so we might not be able to record Sunday. Just a side note: no one else gives a shit about this. Might have to do Monday because I'll be coming back from Queen City on Sunday. So let's look at Monday if you're cool with that.
Yeah, I think that'll be doable. And I am flexible, Brett.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. So it makes me employable. Being
does.
flexible. Yeah.
Being flexible, showing up on time, being flexible, stuff like that.
Adaptive.
Adaptive.
Yeah, adaptive.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm one of your hosts, Sean.
And I'm Brett. And good night and good game and all.
This has been a Litterbox Studio production.